Before the 1960s, the world faced a dire food crisis. Populations were booming, but food production lagged dangerously behind. In Asia, Africa, and Latin America, families struggled daily to find enough to eat. Traditional farming methods, saving seeds, relying on rain, using manure, couldn't keep up. A single drought or new disease could wipe out entire harvests. Experts warned of looming famines that could claim millions of lives. In countries like India and Pakistan, leaders knew hunger threatened their nation's stability. The challenge: how to grow more food on the same land and make farming less vulnerable to nature's whims. The world needed a breakthrough, a revolution in agriculture. Farmers saw the tired soil and hungry faces firsthand. They knew change was urgent. Their struggle set the stage for one of history's most dramatic transformations in food production. The world was waiting for a miracle to avert disaster. This era reminds us how fragile our food systems can be. Feeding the world is a constant, evolving challenge. The stage was set for a revolution that would change everything. The Green Revolution was a battle against hunger, not fought with weapons, but with science. Beginning in the 1950s and 60s, it brought together scientists, governments, and farmers to transform agriculture. Led by Norman Borlaug, the movement aimed to ensure no one went hungry. The revolution introduced high-yield seeds, varieties that produced far more grain than traditional ones. These seeds needed more water and nutrients, so chemical fertilizers and new irrigation systems became essential. The approach started in Mexico and spread to India, Pakistan, and the Philippines. Governments provided seeds, fertilizers, and built irrigation infrastructure. The goal: grow more food on every acre. Farmers had to abandon old seeds and learn new techniques, using chemicals, managing water, and fighting pests. Some embraced the promise of bigger harvests, others worried about costs and risks. The Green Revolution was more than science, it was a social and cultural upheaval. It changed rural life, economies, and the very nature of farming. The world watched as fields and futures were transformed. The Green Revolution was a bold experiment on a global scale. Its impact would be felt for generations. At the heart of the Green Revolution were new seeds, engineered for higher yields and resilience. Scientists like Norman Borlaug developed wheat, rice, and maize with shorter, sturdier stems. These plants could handle more fertilizer without collapsing, turning nutrients into more grain. Faster maturing varieties allowed multiple harvests per year, boosting total food output. The miracle rice, IR8, developed in the Philippines, doubled or tripled yields and spread rapidly across Asia. These new seeds transformed countries from food importers to exporters. But they came with demands: reliable irrigation, precise fertilizer, and protection from pests. Farmers had to adopt pesticides and new farming routines. The seeds were a gift of science, but required a new mindset and investment. Traditional seeds faded as high-yield varieties took over. The promise was great harvests, but only if the rules were followed. The Green Revolution's crops were powerful tools, but not without challenges. Farming became more technical and more dependent on outside inputs. The revolution was as much about technology as it was about changing the way people farmed. The new seeds redefined what was possible in agriculture, but they also set new expectations and new risks. The new seeds were hungry and thirsty. They needed chemical fertilizers and steady water to thrive. Chemical fertilizers delivered concentrated nutrients, making plants grow faster and produce more grain. Governments subsidized fertilizers, and factories churned out massive quantities. Farmers learned to balance the right amounts. Too little meant poor yields, too much could harm crops and soil. Irrigation was just as crucial. Dams, canals, and pumps brought water to fields year-round. Farming no longer depended on unpredictable rain. Crops could flourish even in dry seasons. Once barren lands turned green, and farmers could harvest 2 or 3 crops a year. The combination of new seeds, fertilizers, and irrigation revolutionized food production. But this control came at a cost. Rivers and aquifers were strained, and water scarcity became a new worry. The Green Revolution made farming more productive, but also more resource-intensive. The landscape was transformed, for better and for worse. The promise of abundance brought new pressures on land and water. The revolution solved hunger, but created new environmental challenges. The balance between progress and sustainability became a pressing question. The Green Revolution's results were astonishing. Global food production soared. Countries like India went from famine threats to feeding their populations. Wheat harvests multiplied, saving hundreds of millions from starvation. Farmers prospered, selling surplus grain and improving their lives. Rural economies grew, creating jobs beyond the fields. Food became more affordable and accessible, reducing urban poverty and improving nutrition. A well-fed population meant healthier, more productive societies. The Green Revolution laid the foundation for economic growth in many nations. The fear of famine faded, replaced by confidence in science and innovation. Investment in agricultural research proved its worth. The story became one of hope, showing what's possible when people unite to solve big problems. The Green Revolution was a turning point in the fight against hunger. Its legacy is a testament to human ingenuity and cooperation. The Green Revolution's success came with new challenges for farmers. High-yield seeds, fertilizers, and irrigation were expensive, especially for small farmers. Many took loans to afford the new technology, risking debt if crops failed. Farmers became dependent on companies for seeds and chemicals, and on government subsidies. The old self-sufficiency was lost. Farming became a business of constant investment. Economic pressure and uncertainty grew in rural communities. The focus on a few high-yield crops led to a loss of traditional varieties and biodiversity. Valuable genetic traits disappeared, making future crops more vulnerable. The benefits of the revolution favored larger, wealthier farmers. Smallholders often struggled, widening the gap between rich and poor. Not everyone shared equally in the new prosperity. The Green Revolution's legacy is complex, solving hunger, but creating new social and economic divides. Farmers faced a new kind of struggle, balancing progress with independence. The revolution changed not just how food was grown, but who benefited from it. Intensive farming took a toll on the environment. Heavy fertilizer use damaged soil health, killing beneficial microbes and depleting nutrients. Over time, land became less fertile, requiring even more chemicals to maintain yields. Massive irrigation drained rivers and underground water, causing wells to run dry. Water scarcity became a crisis in many farming regions. Large-scale monoculture made crops vulnerable to pests and diseases. Pesticide use soared, but pests adapted, leading to a cycle of stronger chemicals. This pesticide treadmill harmed the environment, beneficial insects, and farmers' health. The focus on maximum production overlooked long-term sustainability. Farmers now face degraded soils, water shortages, and stubborn pests. The methods that once brought abundance now threaten the future of farming. The Green Revolution's environmental costs are a warning for today. New solutions are needed, ones that protect both harvests and the earth. The search for sustainable farming has become urgent. Farmers today have mixed feelings about the Green Revolution. Older generations remember the relief from hunger and the prosperity it brought. For them, high-yield seeds and fertilizers were lifesavers. Younger farmers, however, face the problems left behind: poor soil, water shortages, and costly chemicals. They question whether this system is sustainable for the future. Tensions arise between those who see the revolution as a miracle and those who see its costs. The debate is about balancing food production with environmental care. Most farmers recognize the revolution was both a blessing and a curse. They're adapting, combining modern science with traditional wisdom. The story isn't over. Farmers are still writing the next chapter. The lessons of the Green Revolution guide today's search for better ways to farm. The conversation continues, shaping the future of agriculture. The revolution's legacy is still unfolding in fields around the world. The Green Revolution reshaped global agriculture and averted famine. Its high-yield crops and modern methods still underpin our food systems, but it also brought environmental damage, lost biodiversity, and social inequality. Today, the focus is on sustainable farming, feeding a growing population without harming the planet. Scientists now seek crops that use less water, need fewer chemicals, and are more nutritious. Precision agriculture and new technologies aim to reduce waste and protect resources. Farmers live with both the benefits and burdens of the revolution. The ongoing debate about its legacy is vital for our future. We must learn from the past to build a fairer, healthier, and more sustainable food system. The Green Revolution's echo reminds us, the quest for food security is ongoing. The journey continues as we strive to feed the world and care for the earth.